get a few people more involved. Hey, 7 people. Hey, welcome everyone. Thai vloggers. Hey, well, thank you, man. I got my official Royal Thai shirt on this morning. A little turtleneck kind of covers that double chin. Got the aircon on here in the room, so yeah, when you get old, you don't look as pretty as you used to, but that's okay. Hey, man. But yeah, I'm a proud supporter of Thailand. Been My life has gotten better every year since I've been here in Thailand, the Kingdom of Thailand, for 5 years now. So, Gary, thank you. Good evening. Hey, it's Gary. Where are you at in the world, there, Gary? Let us know where you're at. It's evening where you are, so I'm guessing the United States of America. Hey, Gary, I wish you were here. I don't really wish you were beer. I wish you were beer, but I wish you were here, man. Hopefully soon we'll get back to normal, get past this crazy COVID-19, this unprecedented time in modern history, right? None of us, I don't care how old you are, can testify to living through a global pandemic. I think we've all learned a lot by it. Virginia, hey man, welcome. Virginia, isn't that Virginia is for lovers? Do you still have that same logo with the heart? Virginia is for lovers. I did a little time there at Fort Lee, Virginia, and when I was in the military, and we took a little ferry boat ride out off Virginia Beach. Beautiful place, beautiful place. But that was back in 1982, and I think it was Virginia is for lovers with the big heart. But anyway, good morning. It is still okay. Great, Gary. Hey, I'm glad to have you guys. Thailand vloggers, man, I appreciate your support, buddy. I'm just a small channel, but starting to get a few more views, and it's kind of on me to create better content, more interesting content, higher quality content. So I'm upgrading some stuff, and like I say, I'm learning as I go. Uh, kind of trying to look at my stuff from the audience perspective. Uh, Yesterday, I had a nice ride and chat, and visited with an American man from. Well, I'm not going to tell you where he's from because that'll kind of spoil the interview. But he's an American man, and he just opened up a smoked rib house. It's called the Palau Rib House. Excuse me. It's morning, and I'm full of coffee. Uh, so, being from Kansas City, I'm from Kansas City. So, anybody knows anything about Kansas City will tell you we're a barbecue town. We're famous for barbecue. Uh, so, it was a great interview. He's a very interesting man. I don't want to give you too much details about Mike from America, but the Pala Rib House, I'm fixing to upload that video from yesterday, and I think you'll find it really interesting. He was scheduled to open his restaurant. I don't want to give too much away, but let's say he was scheduled to open his restaurant, and then the pandemic hit, right? So he'd invested all this money in the interior and the exterior and signs and just a beautiful place, and slow smoked American style ribs and meats are very rare in Thailand. So I think you'll find that video interesting. Did a little ride and chat on the motorcycle, and then stopped in and seen Mike. So that's coming today. I'm fixing to upload that after the live stream here. So, it is on me to provide better content. Hey, thanks for the thumbs up. So, I think we'll get more views on the playback, and it's understandable we don't have a big audience this morning. Glad to have you here. Anybody else from the United States in the house? We got 7 people total. We got Gary from Virginia. We got Thailand vloggers. I know you are American, right? Thailand vlogger. Al Pacino, where are you from? Anybody wants to give up their nationality and location in the chat, that'd be great. But if not, don't worry about it. So the focus of the topic is expat life in Southeast Asia. Uh, like I say, I've lived here in Thailand for 5 years. Yeah, you are American. I assumed you were. I mean, yeah. Okay, great to have you. Uh, since living here in Thailand for 5 years, it's changed me a lot, and I think for the better. And the way it's changed me is pretty difficult to give in great detail, but the biggest factor is just the Thai culture, and I think it's pretty much all of Southeast Asia in general. The culture is very non-confrontational, uh, very peaceful, very friendly, welcoming people, and not that Americans aren't. I mean, I'm a proud American, okay, and I'm an American veteran, so I'm not trying to, downplay the hospitality of Americans because we have a lot of great people, but it's a cultural thing that in America, uh, it's we're just known to be more aggressive now and more kind of self-centered. We worry about ourselves and our immediate family, but we don't really have like the sense of community that we used to have, like say 1950s America, where everybody knew all the neighbors up and down all the streets, and you bartered and traded eggs, and that's the kind of thing that still exists in Thailand. It's a very modern country, but you still have that 1950s America feel. And what that's done, how that's changed me is when I first got here, I would get frustrated real easy. I don't speak the language. I'm very kind of impatient. Just part of my culture. I mean, I don't think I'm a butthead or anything, but Dubai, oh, UAE. Hey, man, glad to have you, buddy. Glad to have you, man. A lot kudos, respect to all of you guys over there, man. We love our Middle Eastern people. We really do. American partnership in the region is vitally important. So we appreciate all you folks, and it's all about freedom and more power to the people from the American perspective. No country's perfect, but I think that's the ultimate goal of American foreign policy, and especially specifically in your region, man, is to support those people that have more desire for freedom and obviously combat radical elements that are trying to suppress the people and do horrible things. So kudos to you, man. Uh, anyway, the big change is being impatient and getting frustrated and kind of showing my ass. I mean, I'll be honest with you, man. We was waiting in some lines for the visa and stuff, and I got very frustrated. We kind of went through a little bit of an office that I thought was a government office, but it turned out to be some kind of an agency deal, and she had made some copies of some of my papers and then didn't give them all back. And now we're in the line at the embassy trying to get this visa done. I look in and I see that this person is like really jacked me up on the documents, and I got frustrated. And my wife was with me. We weren't married at the time. Yeah, we were married at the time because this is my first initial application for a marriage visa. We were in Laos at the time. We were Thai embassy in Laos. So the reason I want to put this story out here is just to give you a perspective of how it's changed me. I kind of blew up, man. I got, there was a long line, and it's like the cattle guard where they herd you through like cattle. And when I realized what the agency had done, and now I come all this way and I'm waiting in line, and somebody has screwed up my shit. And so I can't even, there's no sense in even being in this line because somebody jacked papers, and it wasn't even an official office of the government that I found out later, some poser. And probably just an innocent mistake when she was making copies or whatever. She didn't give me everything back. So here I am. I don't have the adequate application documents and stuff now. And we have bags, we have suitcases and stuff, and I got a pretty good size suitcase, and I just start tossing it over the little cattle guard gates, the little rails. And my wife, I had to be embarrassing for her, but that's just one example of that's where I come from. And when somebody's done you wrong and you're upset, you can kind of show your ass. I don't do that anymore. Well, I mean, I still could, I guess, but that's kind of try to simplify how it's changed me. I've learned that because it is a foreign country and I don't speak the language, that things are going to be frustrating. And Thai people just have so much patience. You don't see Thai people show their ass like that. I mean, that would be like losing face, right? Which is a no-no in Asia. Losing face basically means to embarrass yourself in public, or somebody you're with would do something that would cause great embarrassment and shame, right? So Thai people don't do that. So that's just one example of kind of, if I was in that situation again, I'd have a whole different perspective. It wouldn't matter if my documents were screwed up, or it wouldn't matter how chaotic the situation was, how frustrated it was. I, within myself, have the ability to control that now because I've learned from the Thai people and learned their culture is not that way. And so I'm going to stand out like a big sore thumb if I, you know, so it's kind of on us as expats to let go of everything we've basically known as far as the culture, the society, the interactions with people. And again, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm a respectful guy. I have 4 daughters, 11 grandchildren. My daughters are all highly successful and respectful to their elders. So I mean, I'm not trying to say Americans don't have respect. It's just I think you get my point here is it's something within us that we have like natural reactions, like road rage and somebody doesn't use their blinker and oh my God, we're going to make a big deal and get ourselves upset over something so small. That's the biggest impact now after 5 years in the Asian culture. And I mean, it's a big change for the better personally within me. So I wanted to get that out there because I think a lot of these guys expats will attest to that. We have so after I've been here a while and I really uh, kind of gotten to know how things work better, uh, and I'll get to your comments just a second, Gary. uh, I started becoming a consumer of YouTube more so than ever before in my life because when you're in a foreign country, you don't have a lot of English programming and stuff. I've never been a big TV guy, but you look for other areas of entertainment, and you don't have a lot of native English speaking people here. We're a small minority in this country. What they call farang, the white skinned foreigner. Whether you're from Scandinavia or Russia or European or American, Canadian, Aussie, whatever. We're still a small minority in this country, and so you don't get social English conversational interaction with people. So you turn to things like YouTube, and I started watching Thai vloggers and different vloggers throughout Southeast Asia, and so. Uh, I didn't even really know anything about creating a YouTube channel. I thought, well, if I made a channel, my daughters and grandkids back home would be able to see, like, just walking around the house and everyday life and kind of see what Grandpa and Grandma Yin have going over here in Thailand. So that kind of reason I started a channel and then started consuming more YouTube vloggers and got to kind of a realization, I could use this channel to help people that are considering relocating to Thailand and give them the knowledge that I've gained, after living here so long and dealing with visa laws and all the requirements to be successful because I've been very successful here. I have a incredibly rare disability called chronic inflammatory demyelinating polyneuropathy with a predominant sensory neuropathy. Mouthful, right? Say that 10 times. Very rare. And it causes a lot of pain. So that's kind of the reason I came to Thailand. But I lost my train of thought on that before I got all jumbled up in the medical thing. But anyway, being a disabled person, that's the reason I came here. The tropical weather helps me a lot. Uh, but I can't do a lot of things that I used to do. So I'm not able to get out there and do that. So since I totally lost my train of thoughts early in the morning, James abroad. Oh my God! Kudos to you, James. James has got an awesome channel, man. He's up in North Thailand. He's been coming to Thailand. I think what, like 15 years, James, something like that. And yeah, James abroad in the house. My favorite smaller channel, right? We got like a small channels that have five, 600. I think I only have like 300 subscribers, and then there's the bigger channel categories that have thousands, right? But my smaller channels, James is my favorite, man, and he's got a lot of experience in Thailand. He's got a beautiful home and a large piece of ground and a beautiful garden, and his videos are just it's just so cool. He's really involved in projects around the house and repair, and he's got Thai workers that come in and help him do his projects, and he shows that and the gardening and stuff like that. It's really a great perspective of true real life in Thailand. And coming from a younger man, James, I don't know how old you are, but a pretty young guy, good looking guy. And James, I think where are you from? I don't want to get it wrong. I know you have an accent that's a little bit English, so it's either England or Australia. Anyway, but James can speak really good Thai because he's had a lot of experience in Thailand. messing around with the pump today. He's always got a project going. That's the thing, he invested in a property, and you've got maintenance and upkeep, but it's so great. It's just a really, really good channel. So I would encourage anybody here now or watching the playback, man, go check out James Abroad. Go check out James Abroad. And that's right on the subject where I was going. Watching these Thailand vloggers and watching Southeast Asia vloggers in general, and getting all the different perspectives. You got younger guys like James, you older guys that are older than me, retirement visas, work visas, business visa with a work permit, marriage visas, all these different perspective, and you can really gain a lot of knowledge. And so my channel progressed uh, because, I do have the disability. I look for hobbies that I can do that are not strenuous and doesn't cause me a lot of pain. Uh, I stay active and I do everything I can, but it's nice to have a hobby where I can, ride around the motorcycle and do some video, and so it started out as just showing videos for my kids and grandkids back home, and then I became a consumer of all these other vloggers, and I'm like, wow, I could participate in that community and give some helpful information, and so that's how it's evolved. And because of my disability, it really just like a project. It's almost like I'm working, and but it's enjoyable work. So I think James and a lot of these other vloggers would agree. Like, different vloggers have different goals for their YouTube channels. Some of the larger channels, they're monetized, they get tremendous amount of views. And I don't know how that monetization works. I know that you have to have at least 1,000 subscribers before you're eligible for YouTube monetization. But from what I've heard, and I haven't gotten a lot of insight from some of the larger channels. I pose that question. So, like, what's the monthly gig? Like, how much do you pull in or whatever? And it's kind of like, I don't know if it's a competition thing between some of the larger channels, and they don't really want to divulge that information. And it's finances, it's their personal money. It's really not my business, but just on a private message to kind of get an idea. Because I thought, if my channel did grow and got over 1,000, once you get over 1,000, then YouTube really promotes your channel better, and you can tag a lot better, and so you're much more visible, and your growth from 1,000 going up can be pretty rapid compared to starting with a small channel and getting up there. So, but if I did monetize and got bigger, I feel like I would want to be very transparent, because I'm very fortunate. I don't need income. I have pensions, and have a military pension, and I'm very stable. And so I don't need to earn money from YouTube. But if the channel grew in to a potential where it could earn money, I would like set up a 501(c) kind of a bank account, kind of be transparent with the people, and because even in addition to the YouTube monetization, people get donations, right? People mail you stuff, and then there's like this super chat feature where people can just send money right on the live chat, right? So to me, when people start donating money to a channel or something, I'm either going to tell them, hey, this is part of my monthly income and I'm paying my rent with it, or I'm going to tell them, B, I'm taking your money and I'm doing this with it, right? To me, I just think transparency is important once you get to the stage of earning from a YouTube channel. Uh, thank you, Thai vloggers. I appreciate it. So let me stop rambling. You guys know I could just ramble on. I hope some of it's informative and gives you a perspective. My original plan was to retire in Chiang Mai. Uh, go back to that there. Hey, thanks for putting James Abroad up there. Thailand vloggers, you're helping me out, man. I'm a total rookie. I didn't set up any moderators. I appreciate you, buddy. I really appreciate that. Uh, but the burning issue up in Chiang Mai, yeah, it gets pretty bad. I've never been there. I want to come visit though, Gary. Uh, Da Nang, Da Nang. English we say Da Nang, but it's Da Nang. Uh, and try. But the visa situation caused me to think about. Yeah, I understand, Gary. I'm interested to learn more about the area you live in. Might be a good place to for a single man that is not interested in The bar culture. Gary, I got your back, man. I got your back on that. Okay. Uh, I'm glad you kind of brought up the bar culture. I'm not a bar culture guy either, and that is kind of a problem with some of the expat community. I don't want to say a majority or anything, but let's face it, man. There's a lot of guys that were alcoholics when they arrived. They're here, retired, or whatever they're doing, and they go to the bar every day and drink. I mean, that's their lifestyle. Okay. Well, I didn't go to the bars every day when I was back in my country, and I'm certainly not going to do it here. There's some guys that maybe developed alcoholism after they got here because, again, English is not the native language here, so you don't have that social interaction with people. But if you go to the bar, you'll find a lot of expats, and you can. Okay, I think I'm caught up with the comments there. So, but thanks for that comment, Gary. Yeah, man, that's a really important topic about expat life in Southeast Asia, and it's a trap that guys fall into. I'm not saying they're bad guys. Hey, look, I'm not a judgmental guy. So when I throw out the word alcoholism, hey, man, that's a disease. That's a real thing. I'm saying I've never had that, so I don't know. I have had addiction, but that was due to pain meds that they had me on in America to try to control my chronic pain. And I broke myself off of that habit, and it was god awful. Opioids are like heroin, and I did it on my own. And so I know what withdrawals are. So I can relate to alcoholism, and I know how difficult it is. But I think in the expat Asian community, there's this big void. I mean, you get here, you're like, I think a lot of guys have preconceived ideas. Hey, I'm going to move to a tropical country in Asia. Everything is so cheap. My pension's going to go so far. It's going to be the most beautiful life I've ever lived in my life, right? And they get over here, and for the first few months or something, it is. It's got really nice red light districts and party scenes and bars and live music. And they're like, wow, this is fantastic. It's summer all year long. Got beaches, got mountains, got everything, got great people. And then before you know it, they develop into just a that's their life. Well, that's like a tourist life. That's what people do when they come here as a tourist, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay, perfectly fine. And if I have a friend come over from America and he wants to go to Pattaya and go to Walking Street, I'm down. I'm with him, man. I can party with the best of them. I'm all for it. And a lot of those girls that work in those bars and all that stuff, they're just regular type ladies, a lot of them, not all, but they send money back to their families and stuff. I have respect for all people. I don't care what your profession is. I have respect for prostitutes. Okay. To me, you treat everybody the way you want to be treated, right? That's the way I would look at it. So anyway, I'm down with that. It's fine, but completely different than long stay expat life. Like you got to completely separate it. It's a normal life. I think a quote from Doc Holliday was, "There's no normal life. There's just life." So it's hard to say normal life. I love that quote, but because there is, it's normal life. What's that? There's just life. So it's what you make of it. You can live a high quality life, no different than your home country. A lot lower cost of living. So right, there's options to work here as an English teacher or a remote job, whatever. So you can have a wonderful life here and still do like what you did back home. You go to a bar on a weekend, you go hang out with the guys. Normal, right? Just regular stuff. But the expat community falls into this trap because there's this big void of the English social interaction, or even the guys from Scandinavia and Germany and all over that don't have their native language here either, and they don't understand Thai. So most of them have good English second language skills. So the you could fall into that trap of let's go to the bar every day, and I just I've just never been a bar guy, so it didn't. But it's a really really good point because uh, there's a lot of that, and unfortunately, Thai people do have a perspective of Farang, the white skinned foreigner, sometimes in a negative way. Now, I'm not talking about us expats that live here. I think they see that differently. But, the tourist guys and the party guys, and, you know, uh, so it's important to me that we kind of counter that reputation of the tourist, the white foreigner, have nothing against tattoos, but the guys that have full tattoos and don't wear shirts and stuff, and We had an example right here in our province of Rayong where a British guy pushed his Thai girlfriend off of the balcony. She broke her hip and broke her leg. Police called. So it's headline news in Thailand, all the papers. So you can look it up. It was just recently, maybe a couple of weeks ago. So you have this British guy, and he's standing on the balcony in the photo with the police, right? And they're trying to get into the apartment or the condo, right? And he's standing out there and he's got no shirt on. He's all tattooed up. Okay. I'm not against tattoos. I'm just saying he did a criminal act, right? And it's a headline news. He hurt and injured badly his Thai girlfriend. Okay? During the COVID pandemic, people are kind of going nuts all over the world, right? But no excuses for criminal behavior. I don't give a crap what's going on. So that's a big image, right? It's on all the news. It's everywhere. It's in all the papers. So Thai people can look at that. Damn, stupid Farang, right? So there's a big difference between those guys and the real expat people like James Abroad, like Foreigner Joe, like Chuck and Paige, like Simon at Land of Smiles. Even in Southeast Asia, one of my favorites in Vietnam, Eli the bike guy. I mean, you could just tell how these people carry themselves. They carry themselves with respect for Thai people, Thai culture, the Kingdom of Thailand, the laws, the rules, the regulations. They want to be a contributor to the culture. They want to contribute to the community. They're just like they would back home. They're really good people. So I think that those are the majority, especially in the expat community. But the dirty laundry always gets the headlines. So it is our responsibility to kind of counteract that. All right, you guys chatting amongst yourself here, good a little bit. Okay, yeah. I'm right there with you. Okay, Carl. Hey, Carl's in the house. Hey, thanks for coming back, man. And apologize, man. I'm still a rookie at this. Yeah. The burning season up in Chiang Mai gets pretty bad now. I've talked to other people that have lived there for years, and they love Chiang Mai and they love the mountains and stuff. So, they downplay the burning season. It can get bad. Some years are worse than others. And what I've heard, and I say this is through the grapevine from people that live there, that a lot of the big problem up there is China. That's close to the Chinese border, the Golden Triangle. China buys a lot of property over into Myanmar. They don't have any regulations on their burning. They just burn everything all at once, right? And then Chiang Mai is a city kind of like Denver, where it's surrounded by the mountains and the air just kind of hangs in there. So it's not all the air quality is the responsibility of the Thai farmers that are burning their rice fields and the population of the city emissions and stuff itself. So there's other contributing factors that Thailand doesn't have control over. Maybe you can chime in on that, but that's what I've heard. I'm just concerned at 51, single with no job there, I'd lose purpose. Very good. Very good perspective, sir. You got to have purpose in life, man. There's things you can do, man. There's things you can do. You don't have to lose your purpose. Love dogs, like camping, water, all that. Mm, I may be isolated. Good word there too. That's a big problem, and it depends on your background. Have you ever been isolated before? Back in your home country, have you kind of lived that life a little bit, at least for a year or a few years? So you've kind of adapted to that, kind of assimilated to loneliness and isolation. Then when you get here to a foreign country or any foreign country in the world, you'd be better handled for that. But there's great ways to avoid that. Okay, great ways to avoid that, Carl. Don't let that be the problem. But do you research ahead of time? Watch these various vloggers. James Abroad will give you a great perspective. Foreigner Joe, watch these guys, man, because they're really putting out content that's helpful for those concerns that you're expressing. Okay, and there's ways to avoid all that. I'm telling you. Okay, I'm a very flawed man. I got a lot of problems. All right. I have had. I'm not a perfect guy, but I can attest that every year, 5 years in Thailand, it's been better and better and better. Okay. And I'm not talking about material things and possessions. I'm talking about assimilating into the culture, breaking that isolation, having a purpose. Teaching English is another thing. I don't have any teaching background, right? But with a 4-year degree of any field here in Thailand. You can become an English teacher. You can work legally either on a B visa, a business visa. You can get a work permit, or a marriage non-O visa, marriage or a family connection, a non-O and a B. Those are the two that you can get a work permit. A work permit is separate from the immigration office in Thailand. It's really strange. A work permit comes through the Labor Department, Ministry of Labor. So it's like two different entities. Where most countries, if you're going to apply for a visa, a business visa, employment related, then they would issue your work legal work permit status through the immigration. Thailand is not, but it can be done. And so that's the thing. And most of the jobs are, they're not big salary, but you make 35,000 baht a month. So that's a $1,200 somewhere in that area, 1,000 to $1,200. But that goes a long ways here. And if you got additional income, a pension of some kind, that's a bonus too. But it's short hours. I mean, 20 hours a week, something like that, and you really have purpose because you English is so important. English second language. I always say English is the bridge of communication that connects the world. So it's a very noble thing to do. I've done it for 4 years. I'm taking a break from it now, but there's lots of other ways too. Lots of other things, and there's lots of expats that have businesses. Okay, wait till you see this interview with Mike in the Rib House. Wait till you see. I mean, it can be he perfectly legal. He got all of his ducks in a row, man. And a lot of businesses around here are owned by expats. Okay, there's ways to do things. Now, Americans have a little bit of an advantage over other nationalities in Thailand because Thailand and America have an amnesty agreement that was signed way long time ago. So the American ownership for businesses is easier than some other, but it can be done regardless. Like I know UK guys, everybody that. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, what interest do you have, Gary? I appreciate you guys kind of bouncing back and forth. Thailand vloggers, things to do. Lots of farang here. You're right. You're only isolated if you want to be. That's true. That's true. If you want to be, but you also have to search. You have to make an effort, right? And like I said, watch these vloggers, man. You can get this is free stuff. Hua Hin is a nice coastal town. Yeah, I've never been to Hua Hin. Would love to go. It is a beautiful area, and Hua Hin has a royalty connection to the royal Thai family. That's kind of how it got to be more developed and a better holiday destination is because the royal Thai family had residence there for years. My plan is to travel throughout. See, times of your language lessons, learning, cook. Yeah, good plan, Gary. Good plan. Who does live in Hua Hin? Are you talking about Johnny? There's something happening. That's a good guy. Is he in Hua Hin or Prachuap? He may be in Hua Hin. I don't know. Hua Hin and Prachuap Kiri Khan, they're like two provinces real close to each other. Basically, from Bangkok. I'll tell you what I'm going to do here, just real quick, so we can, for the people that don't know, we're gonna draw a little crude Thailand. It's very crude Thailand. This one's not as long. This peninsula is much shorter. Okay, I'm right here in Rayong province. Here's Bangkok. Put a star right there. Okay. Chiang Mai, the capital of the north of Thailand. All right. This area is the most ancient part of Thailand. This is called Lana. Lana. The Lana kingdom is the oldest kingdom of Siam. This is where Thai people originally migrated out of China, right? Most all these people in Southeast Asia are Indo-China, right? So this is a lot of mountains, a lot of outdoor activities, waterfalls, rivers, beautiful, beautiful country. But that's where we were talking about. So Chiang Mai is kind of the big capital of that city. And then here's your Golden Triangle. You got Chiang Rai up here, and this is where you have Myanmar, right? Put a big M here, and Lao, Lao. It has an S on it, but guys, it's pronounced Lao. There's no plural S's in Asian language. So it's just Lao. Okay. So there's the triangle right there. And then here's China. Ooh, there's the big dog. The big dog of Asia, China right up there. So, okay. And then we got Hua Hin would be down here. So let's put the north, east, or northwest, east, and south. Okay. Northbound there. All right. So, yeah, capital city of Bangkok, 12 million people. The Big Mango is what I call it. It's like the Big Apple of New York City. There's a lot of other names, but I like the Big Mango. So, yeah, you travel not too far from Bangkok and you're at Hua Hin, and that's why it has a lot of royalty connection because you have the palace and everything there. And then Prachuap Khiri, we're Foreigner Joe. Foreigner Joe's down here. Isan is the northeast region. This doesn't have to be exactly accurate, right? So we spell it Issan, but it's pronounced Isan. Probably the biggest city would be Udon Thani. Udon Thani, so that'd be like the capital city of that region. My wife's from Udon Thani, and I've spent a couple of years teaching high school up in Isan. Chuck and Paige are on the Mekong River here at Tot Phanong. If you haven't seen No Time to Be Sad, that guy's been making vlogs for a long time. He's excellent, very, very great gentleman, and has a lot of respect for Thai people. His wife is Thai, but they met in the United States, and he was married before he moved to Thailand. So there's Chuck and Paige, and I don't know where Land of Smiles. I don't know where the locations are. All of them are. Rayong is here, right? So yeah, Hua Hin. This is the Gulf. Now you have a little bay here. This is the Bay of Bangkok. This is Bangkok Bay. So we'll just put BKK. It's just a little smaller, right? And then it opens up, and this is the Gulf. The Gulf of Siam, now the Gulf of Thailand. And then you get all the way down here, you got the Malaysian border, and you got some of these provinces in the far south are no-go zones, guys. That's a war been going on down there for a long time. It's very dangerous. And then Phuket Island's out here somewhere, the largest island. And there's multiple islands all over. But kind of gives you a little bit of an idea there. Denver. Yeah, Denver's mile high. Well, like Denver. I just meant in Denver. If you've been to Denver, tile vloggers, like when you go into Denver and you see the mountains, in the background as you're coming in, the mountains keep getting like bigger and bigger. And then if you get to a high point, kind of overlook Denver, the city of Denver, you see the pollution kind of hangs there. The air is kind of stagnant because, the surrounding mountains. Not that it's that way all year, but that's what I meant Denver in how the air settles in there. Chiang Mai is like a valley city surrounded by mountains. Okay, James, something for everybody here. Just take a little time to write slot for your lifestyle. Yeah. Thomas, you are natural at this, mate. Well, I'm a total rookie, man, total amateur, but thanks. James, man, don't stop doing what you're doing, buddy. I know, we all get these trolls and negative people that throw the comments out there, probably just because they have a deficiency within themselves, so they lash out at other guys. Your contributions to the community, the expat vloggers, is incredible. Your length to stay, your travel back and forth, you have a lot of experience. Your Thai language, so keep doing what you're doing, man, and don't listen to the naysayers. TT is a natural. True. Okay, right. Hey, I think you guys are really going to enjoy this video that I'm going to upload after this live stream. I haven't titled it yet, but I have to come up with something. It's expat trying to open a restaurant and in the middle of a global pandemic, right? I mean, it's a fascinating interview. A very interesting man, very knowledgeable man. His background is as an attorney. Well, don't think bad of him. He's a business attorney. I don't want to give you too much detail because the interview is great, but it gives you a perspective. I think you'll like the video content because it gives you a perspective that you don't see. I think a lot of us vloggers, and that's why I like the diversity. A lot of the vloggers show their everyday life, which is great. perfect. Like people want to know that's useful information. Taking care of land, buying a house, living in a condo, whatever you're doing, right? Ride for kicks. Ride for kicks. Okay, here's Pattaya, is the biggest city in our region, right? This is Pattaya City, which is Chonburi province, and TTT is right down here, which is TTT in Rayong. Okay, uh, so this is Chonburi province, and then Rayong province. Okay, Ride for Kicks is right up here north of Pattaya in a beach called Bansan. And so, yeah, he's great. He's great too. But he does a little riding chats and stuff. Kind of inspired me to do some of that, as a matter of fact. And he happens to ride a Kawasaki too. But so, yeah, there's a lot of different perspectives that you can get. So I'm learning from all of the guys that I've been watching, and thinking this interview that I had yesterday with this guy, it's just something I hadn't seen on a vlogger channel, like actually going out, talking to somebody, opening a business, investing money, all the crap, and then happens to be in the middle of a global pandemic, which nobody's ever tried to open a business before in the middle of a global pandemic in a foreign country that put out emergency orders to shut everything down, right? So it's kind of fascinating, and he's a very, very I don't want to give too much away, but he's let's just say he's very experienced in travel, and I think you'll find it interesting. So let me know about it. I'm gonna upload it after this live stream, and I look forward to getting some feedback on that one, because if people enjoy that, it's just one example of so many places that I could go here in my area and talk to these people. How'd you do it, man? What do you think? You like Thailand? Don't like Thailand? I mean, really get perspective. And of course, before I interviewed Mike, I stopped in, told him who I was, introduced myself. We have a mutual friend called Uncle Bill from Montana, and everybody loves Uncle Bill. Uncle Bill, like 75 years old, he's a chef. He's cooked all over the world. Everybody loves Uncle Bill. Okay, so that's our mutual friend. And I come in. I'm Thomas, and Uncle Bill's friend of mine. Oh, Uncle Bill, right here. So that kind of broke the ice. And I'm like, hey, man, I've been waiting for your place to open. I've been seeing the development of it, seeing the signs go up like, American smoked meats. Are you kidding? It's a very rare find in Thailand to have a place like this. Thai people do great barbecue and excellent charcoal, really good. Thai people are really, really good with grills, but they don't have smokers, right? You're not talking about smoking something with no direct flame, no direct fire, smoking something for 5, 6 hours, right? So this is a very unique thing to have. And so I just completed editing it, and I think it's going to be a good one. And then it gives me the idea, because so many, I mean, we have like a Finnegan's Irish pub here. So you got that kind of environment. And I'm sure this is not rare just in my area. The more rural or smaller towns wouldn't have it, but anywhere in the beach zone, Hua Hin, brought you up, Foreigner Joe over there. He's probably going to do a lot of that stuff too. So there's a lot of stuff all around Thailand. So, we've got German owned restaurants. We've got Italian owned restaurants. And then you've got the bars, and I'm not talking about girly bars or seedy kind of places. I'm talking about just regular bars with pool tables, where expat meetups. These are not a bunch of alcoholics. So you want to go have a Coke and not drink a beer. That's up to you. But these are owned by people I know. One's called the Jungle Bar here, and the man that owns it's named Alan. Alan's from the UK. Alan's like 75 years old. Been in Thailand a long time, got a very successful place. He doesn't serve any food. He's got a kitchen and stuff, but he's just a hangout. So there's a lot of that kind of stuff. And I think getting perspective from the business owners and the people that have invested, some succeeded, some failed, right? I think if I can bring some of that into my channel and the ride and chat, and get the business minded, because a lot of vloggers, and they're all great. I mean, I have kudos to so many of them. There's some that I don't like. Anybody that disrespects Thai people or talks shit in a bigoted manner is gonna get on my bad side real quick. Okay, I don't care who you are. I don't care what your goal is. You do something disrespectful to Thai people, Teacher Thomas Thailand going to throw the hammer down. I mean, I'll get wordy with you. I don't fight anymore. I'm too old, and I wouldn't anyway. I'm a wiser man. I'd walk away. But I'm gonna throw down on some verbiage on your ass if I see you doing something like that. And that's another thing to think. And I hope that uh, James and any of the other vloggers that are watching this, I hope that maybe you might bring this up and just throw that out there in any one of your videos where you might feel it slips in and is related. There's a lot of people watching you talk Thai vloggers that you don't know who they are and what their connections are to this country. Okay. Be careful, man. That's what I'm telling you. Okay. It's, you have to be aware of your audience. You know, you're going to have people that are tuning in. They're expats and they want to come or they live here or whatever, right? You got that audience, and I think that's what most of us play to. You also got an audience that you may not be aware of, and those are government Thai officials or Thai military people, right? So be careful, man. There's this is not, we don't have the Bill of Rights over here, guys. This is not constitutional America, all right? And so that's where I'm not a snitch. I'm not the guy that's going to, you know, turn somebody in or something. But I know that there are people watching that you may not be aware that are watching, right? So play to a full audience. Think about Thai people that are watching your stuff too. They may not understand all your English, but they get, video speaks 1,000 words, man. You're showing some stuff that the Thai government doesn't want you to put out there. You know, you don't have no licensing media agreement. You're just a freelance, right? Well, there's consequences to things, guys, and this is not America. This is Thailand. Okay, everybody probably heard this TIT tit, right? TIT tit. This is Thailand. So when we say tit, we mean, hey, stop and think about where you're at here. This is not the same rules as your home country. So I hope that any of you vloggers might just kind of throw that out there, not like a warning or anything to the other vloggers, but just an awareness. Do you know who your full audience is? Do you know who might be, have some eyes on what you're doing? And if they see you, with some, let's just say an example, and I'm not going to, let's just say a guy, has a YouTube channel and he's got a flash in the camera of a little nudity in one of the bar areas or something. Boom! Wow! You're going to get your ass in trouble, man. And but for me, what gets my ass hairs riled up is somebody that immigrates to another country and then bitches about the natives or disrespects them. I mean, I don't get it, man. What slave ship brought you over here? Because as far as I know, everybody's here by choice. People bitching about the natives and acting like the natives are all stupid and just disrespect in general. I can't stand it, man. I can't stand it. All right, guy, appreciate it. Everybody agree. Thumbs up. Vloggers going. Gary, this is what I have done. Years of living expense, so I don't care about the market. I have always recovered within 5 years. That's great, Gary. I mean, we got to have resilience and a backup plan, or a plan B. I tell you what, moving to a foreign country anywhere in the world is it's a serious move, man. And guy needs to do his research and get all the information he can, and then even if you're sure, have a backup plan. I always tell people, come for a vacation, for a holiday, stay. You get a free 30-day stamp in your passport when things are back to normal. This is, which it's a whole nother subject, probably next year before you can enter the kingdom. But in general, advice, whatever country you go into in the world, don't make no hard tie down plans when you haven't been there yet. At least stay 30 days longer if you can. Here in Thailand, you can extend your visa on arrival exemption, for at least another 30 days. I was able to get 2 extensions, so I was able to stay 90 full days without any kind of visa, just on arrival. So get here, go around, do things. But in advance of coming, do a lot of research. If I had known then what I know now, wow, would I've avoided a lot of frustration and missteps, right? But there's no substitute for experience, right? Now I have the experience, so hindsight's 2020. I can't, but you can, if you don't have that experience, or anybody that's watching this and you're like, oh, I've never lived in a foreign country, but it's so appealing because I know the cost of living is so much cheaper, quality of life, culture like 1950s America, respect is still a big thing, trading with your neighbors, all that kind of stuff. No aggravation, no political drama, no polarization of all the issues. That's a real thing in a lot of countries, especially Southeast Asia. That's a real thing. You can walk away from all that part of the life. You're not going to have that here. And Chuck up in he's on No Time to Be Said. He talks about that. That he was able to he enjoy his life and like let your shoulders down, right? Because nobody expects anything from you here. And Chuck really does a good job in detail explaining how that umbrella of no expectations from you is a big thing. You don't need to be involved in all the politics and the news and all that shit. And Chuck does a good job of avoiding that kind of stuff here in Thailand. I mean, it's good to be informed, but you don't need to be like really invested in it like we are in our home countries, and debating people and stuff. So it's not your country, and so nobody has expectations of you as an expat in a foreign country in that regard. So that's a good thing too. Respect and decorum counts a lot across Asia. Man, Al, wiser words were never spoken. You ain't kidding, man. Asian culture, biggest thing is that losing face. And listen, I've worked with professionals in the Royal Thai military, okay? Women and men, Thai professionals, highly educated, master's degrees, okay? Same rule applies. Same rule applies. So I don't care if it's the lady selling meat on a stick at the side of the road or professional, right? That whole lose face. And basically, I mean, the best way I know to describe that in our Western, don't show your ass. I mean, lose face, you could be like, well, what does that actually mean? Well, I mean, don't show your ass. Don't, when you're in public, you know, be aware of your surroundings, but you got eyes on you, and present yourself in a way, right? And that's why Thailand's known as the land of smiles. Thai people smile even when they're pissed off sometimes. Oh, this asshole for wrong. I can't stand this guy. Huh? It's true, man. That's how I got the nickname of Land of Smiles. Thai people don't show emotion. And I think that's pretty much most of Asia. Like and this kind of leads into the relationship between men and women. You don't see Thai couples, making out, or you see them holding hands or whatever, but you rarely will see any public displays of emotion in Asia, specifically Thailand, from my experience. And now, what they do in their private is a whole nother deal, right? I mean, that's a whole nother deal. But no public displays of emotion, no hugging. There's no hugging. Uh, they don't shake hands. The Thailand handshake is called a ganwai. Ganwai, right? Put your hands together like praying. And now there's three different levels of ganwai. Okay, and this is really important, even if you're just traveling here as a tourist, because you're going to see people ganwai, right? Now it's like the handshake, to where, like, if you're in a market or something, you're walking around, you don't walk around shaking everybody's hand, do you? No. So you're not going to be gone why. No, it's like an introduction or a greeting, right? So the highest level, if you just think about your thumbs when you got your hands together, you think about your thumbs, the position of your thumbs, okay? The highest level of ganwai would be to a monk. The monks are the highest level. Monk or royalty would be even higher. Okay, but a monk, okay, is the people that you generally see. If a monk, if you want to pay respect to a monk, you got to be sure how you do the ganwai. Okay, so you think about the positions of your thumb. Uh, the lower you lower your head, the more respect you're paying. Thai people don't do a body bow. Now, royalty, you'll see more of a body bow, but in general, they just use their head, right? Bow the head. So you think about your thumbs. So the furthest you can go is to like put your thumbs at your eyebrow. So that would be a ganwai to a monk, right? Or to someone older than you, an elder, right? Now, if it's just to an equal, somebody your age, then you would go, about in your nose area, right? So you're not giving as much respect. And if it's just a friend, you know, you just kind of hold your hands at your chest. Well, hey, Sawadee Ka, right? Just a informal. Now, when I was teaching school, the kids would Ganwai me. You never present the Ganwai first, right? It's kind of like a salute in the military, right? The junior officer presents first, and then the senior officer responds, right? So the junior, the lower level person, the youngest, would Ganwai first. And so the younger is going to be Ganwa, right? They're going to give you the elder, right? And then I'm just going to go back to them like this. I don't have to do a head bow at all. They're younger than me. So it's bigger than a handshake. And that shows you how respect is like tiered here. It's so important, guys. So important. So important. There's so many things like that. And you can find this stuff on YouTube. Like you can look up Thai culture do's and don'ts, and you can hear from actual Thai people that have been exchange students and lived in America and UK and stuff. And they put out a little video about, hey, when you're coming to Thailand, right? And they explain this stuff. So it's very important, very very important. What did you do in the army? Wow, TG, hi, welcome, man. I don't know how long you've been in the house. Sorry I missed you. TTT, love your view on the kingdom, how expats should behave and do things in a foreign land. Thank you, TG. I appreciate that, man. I feel like it's a responsibility of me if I'm going to put my face out there and I'm going to create a YouTube channel. I'm going to do this for. I have no monetary goal or anything, but if I'm going to do this, I have a sense of responsibility to, you know, represent decent expat community because I think it's a large majority of the expats are just like me, man. They've done their research, they assimilated into the culture, and they have great respect, and they show that. Gary, I retired in December. Okay, you guys are chatting amongst respect and decorum. Yeah, right, right. Okay, so TG, getting down to your Gary PU. Uh, mhm. Somewhat similar lifestyle. Glad you guys are sharing with each other too, man. I go to small villages, so all eyes on me. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I have been when I was up in Isan for a couple years teaching high school. My wife and I would take motorcycle and we'd take the back roads up in Isan. And I have been to places where, honest to God, I think they never saw a white person before. Like we would drive back into these old temples. Well, we're big temple hoppers. We love to go to temple and just the architecture and everything. Of course, my wife's a devout Buddhist, but I love the architecture. My background's in construction. I was a contractor for many years, so I'm very, you got like CB Media is all like he can see cars and every detail of machinery like that, and I see architecture, design, and construction, and engineering and craftsmanship. So, but anyway, I mean, when you get out to these temples, there's always like monks that live in the area, like little monastery. And you got support system around them, and a lot of times you'll have vendors. If you want to get some meat on a stick or some sticky rice, there's other people around the temples, and just head turners. They look, oh wow, white man, right? But I'm talking back gravel road type stuff, and I'm like, and I would even ask my wife sometimes to ask them if they'd ever had an American visitor, and they'd be like, "We've never, we've never even seen a white person before." But at the same time, there's a lot of expats that have been here for a long, long, long time. So it's kind of funny when I see some of these vloggers that think they're like a celebrity status because they're a white skinned farang and they're in a small village or something. Hey man, get over yourself. There's probably 100 expats that live in that smaller village. Just because you ain't seeing them at the moment doesn't mean they're not there. So there's a lot of people that have been here for a lot of years. Okay, so we don't need to we don't need to feel like we're completely rare and exotic. We're definitely a small minority for sure. But it's been my experience that Thai people generally show respect. So, what did you do in the army? Were you infantry, light, or mechanicalized? Much respect to the combat R's. Thanks for the question. No, no, I was just a quartermaster, man. I joined the army at 17 years old. I was a high school dropout. I come from a broken family. My mother raised me. I'm the youngest of 9 kids. So, dropped out of high school to go to work. I was raised in the restaurants. My mom was a waitress. Very low education when I entered the military, so I didn't qualify for much when I did the exam. Uh, Went in a quartermaster. I went to basic training at Fort Lee, Virginia. I'm sorry, Fort Jackson, South Carolina, and then the quartermaster school up at Fort Lee, Virginia. And then after that, it's a long story short. I don't want to give too many personal details, but I was assigned to a chemical company, biochemical company, which is a branch of the infantry. They do smoke generator operators, so they're like air cover for the infantry. So they have these generators that run oil chemicals and provide clouds of smoke, and you got to have all the weather settings and all this stuff, and you're providing air cover for the infantry unit. But anyway, I had a long illness on active duty and was hospitalized for 46 days and uh, almost died. And the diagnosis was toxic shock syndrome, which at that time in the early 80s was very, very rare and only really in women. And they had found that it was like exposure to tampons, right? So I got all the jokes about, what are you using tampons? Toxic shock syndrome is your body's immune system reacting to some type of bacteria. The women were getting it from a bacteria that would develop a certain material in a tampon. Men and boys, now they've discovered, even though it's very, very rare, they've discovered that you can get toxic shock syndrome from bacterial streptocoli. So basically, like a strep throat is a bacterium, right? And somehow that bacterium infection and the exposure that I had, my body's immune system reacted to that, and that created toxic shock syndrome. And it's very, very serious. It's a 70% mortality rate. So I'm very lucky to survive. And had a temperature of 106. I was in an ice trough. I called my parents. He's not going to make it through the night. You flew him out there. So it kind of cut my military career short after that. I spent the rest of the time attached to a reserve unit. I was in from 82 to 88, but now I get my pension from the military, not because I retired military, because I have a disability connected to my service. So I have a service connected disability. So thank you for your question. I've never been overseas. We were about to be mobilized to El Salvador, I think back in 82 sometime. But that got taken care of by special forces and stuff. So kudos to everybody that's actually been in combat. And there's a lot of different kind of veterans out there. I am not a combat veteran. I've never served overseas. I'm a patriotic guy. I love my country, and I have the utmost respect for veterans, and especially the elder ones, Vietnam era and World War II era, and even the young. I mean, all. But I've always learned and listened. When I was in, the ghost of Vietnam was still there. Was still there. The respect hadn't come back to the uniformed troops yet. I mean, it was still there. Like all of my drill instructors, all of my trainers were Vietnam guys, and so when we traveled in uniform out into the civilian public, we kind of got that Vietnam. You fucking guys, Thanks for the question. I'm no hero, that's for damn sure. 3,500 per month would be plenty. Oh God, are you kidding me? 3,500 a month would be plenty. I always say, a lot of vloggers, oh, you can live in Thailand for $500 a month. Yeah, how are you going to keep a visa? Because the minimum, the minimum requirement for a person that's married is 40,000 baht a month. So that's like 1,200. I don't know what the exchange is, right? I think around $1,200, $1,300, 40,000 baht. You have to prove that you have that income to extend your visa every year. Now, there's a lot of guys that do border runs and all this stuff to try to stay in the kingdom legally. Keep their, because you don't want to fall into, uh, you don't want to fall out of status. So you don't want to be an overstay. You don't want to be an overstay in Thailand. Trust me, they are cracking down on that shit. Okay, you overstay 1-2 days, go pay your damn 500 baht a day fine and get your status legal. Don't hang out in Thailand, overstay, and they're cracking down on border runs and shit. So really, I mean, you need a long stay visa if you're going to live here. I mean, if you fly in and out, you can stay 90 days and fly out and come back. They allow some tourist visas for 90 days at a time and stuff, but even those are getting more difficult. And after this pandemic, man, it's probably going to be even more so. So uh, right now, I'd say like my cost of living with my house, my truck payment, my insurance, my electric, Wi-Fi, TV, about $2,000 a month, man. And that covers everything. I'm talking going out to eat, restaurants. We don't do that all the time, but buying food at home, 2 grand a month is a damn good life in Thailand. I mean, I've got two motorcycles, two road bicycles, pickup truck, 3 bedroom home. But 2 grand. I mean, yeah. So anything over that, you can say, and you can live less than 2 grand for sure. I'm not. I mean, this is not something fancy, but it's a nice place. General PDG, same. My Filipino wife joined the army as a quartermaster. Ah, good deal. Yeah, quartermaster covers a lot of things. A lot of different areas, supply, all kinds of hospitality service, your active duty support. Like you're supporting combat troops in whatever, whether it's equipment or supplies or hospitality, whatever it is. Quartermasters. Yeah. If I'd have had my choice, I mean, I graduated boot camp soldier of the month. Okay, I was platoon leader, second platoon, which was honor platoon of Echo Company. All right, I wanted to go airborne. After I got to boot camp, I was dogged down to change my MOS and go all the way. I loved it. I loved it. I got really bad sick, and it kind of changed the whole thing. So, but if I was 17, imagine I could have retired at 37 years old if I'd have just been in the military 20 years. I mean, amazing. But hey, you never know what hand you're going to get dealt in life. You just play the cards you get, right? Excuse me, guys. A bit of a cold. Not too much, but a little bit. Minimum for retirement. Yeah, good point, Thailand vlogger. 65K per month. Can you do the exchange on that? I think that's around $2,200, something like that. You guys can do the exchange. You said the exchange changes. We went all the way down to 29 baht per dollar, and now we're back up around the 32 mark. So 1 point in the exchange makes a big difference when you do the conversion. But yeah, that's right, Thailand vlogger. If you're going to retirement visa, you're going to be here as solo. You're not interested in just jumping in and getting married. And we call it a marriage visa, but it's a family visa. So if you had adopted a Thai kid or something like that, you would qualify. So when you have that family connection, they give you a break. It's only 40,000 baht per month, so they give you a break. It's not as much requirement. Okay? And there's another way to do it if you don't have that monthly income, and you can deposit a lump sum in a Thai bank. And in Thailand, Thai style, men wear bags, and there's not a whole lot of image to worry about here in Thailand. We don't. I've worked in America and asked my nephews and stuff. So what do you think? Looks stupid, man. Okay, we don't care about image here, but in Thailand, you you get a bank book with your bank account, right? Like a savings account. So this would be in your name, right? And so if you put a lump sum deposit of 800,000 baht into a Thai bank, then you don't have to show any monthly income. But you have to maintain that money in the bank. You can't just put it in there, get your visa, and then take it out, right? So there's maintenance and stuff. We won't get into all the details of the visa, but uh, I would recommend that you. I've got some videos on how to do the visa application. Other vloggers have. I would highly recommend that you do whatever you need to do to get a long stay visa. There's also another option called an elite visa, which requires more money, But hey, I mean, at least they have it. They get a retirement. You go to Vietnam, there's no retirement visa. They don't want people. You know, to each their own. So Thailand does. Baby, you getting ready to go? Huh? What? Uh, Say hello. It's my wife, Yinri D. She's getting ready to go to work. And she look beautiful. Okay. Well, you could just go to her house and say, hey, well, you need to open shop, huh? Okay. Oh, good. Here, you want to go ahead and take your motorcycle out? I'm live, so. Good, good. More customers. Awesome. Okay. Do you want to say anything to people watching? You're live. Say hello.
Hello
Do you-
everyone.
uh,
สวัสดีค่ะ
what do you think about American husband? Are you happy?
Happy.
You're happy.
Happy.
Put her on the spot on that one. Okay, baby. So we're talking about phenong crap. I'm gonna have a cigarette, guys. I quit smoking a couple of months. I've done it throughout the years, but I've done it for longer periods. But I quit smoking cold turkey a couple of months, and then this damn pandemic come around. It just gave me an excuse to smoke again. Terrible for the body, good for the mind. Good for the mind now. Okay, minimum for return. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Anyway, you can like do your research. Anybody that's watching this on a playback or is here now and you're really thinking about relocating to Southeast Asia, check out the different countries. You can go to the embassy websites, immigration websites, watch the vloggers from that area. Don't take everything you hear on a YouTube blog as fact, right? You need to do your own stuff. But I would encourage anyone that comes to Thailand, make damn sure that you're planning on getting a long stay visa of some kind and that you can meet those requirements, because the days of coming here with a visa exempt or a tourist visa and then just you know flying across the border and coming back and getting another 90, all those border runs, like people lived here a lot of years doing that, like they never had a long-term visa. They just had short-term tourist visas or whatever, and then you have to exit the country and come back, and really crack down on that shit, man. It's just not going to fly anymore. I don't recommend it. I wouldn't want to live that stressed life. I mean, how can you really invest in call it your second home and you got this temporary status shit going on? I highly recommend that. Wherever you're going in the world, man, do your research, and I've made some videos on the process of some of the visas. Stop smoking, bro, if you can. Inspired retired ex. Hey, that's inspirational of you to say that. Yeah, I've done it before. I've stopped before. I'll do it again, man. I'll kick it again. 2028 today. Okay, so $2,028, 65,000 baht a month. So if you don't have any money in the bank, right? Maybe you want to keep your savings back in your home country, right? Come over here. Well, first you need to apply for the retirement visa before you leave your home country. Contact the Thai embassy in your home country, okay, and apply, and they'll put it in your passport, and you've got a non-OA retirement visa for Thailand. So you've already met the requirements, and you've got that. What we're talking about on this monthly income of $2,028, that visa is going to be good for like 90 days when you get it at the embassy in whatever country you're in the world. 90-day retirement visa. So then you get to the country and you're like, I want to live here year round. You have to file for an extension. Those are the yearly extensions that all of us do every year. So you go through the application requirements for the extension is different than the proof that you needed to provide to get your original visa at a Thai embassy outside Thailand. So now you don't have to leave Thailand because you've got that visa already outside Thailand. Then you get in country, you extend it every year, right? We're all temporary. You extend it every year. You're guaranteed to get it as long as you meet the requirements. So you don't have to worry about, being rejected or something like Thailand doesn't want you. And, even though you have the visa in your passport and you meet the qualifications for extension, somebody's going to tell you no. I mean, it's guaranteed that you can live here long stay. But that's the thing. The requirements are when you do your extensions, and those are good for 1 year. Right. And then I know there's some 5 year extensions. I don't have personal experience with retirement visas, so I'm not going to act like I do. TTT, can you confirm retirement visa doesn't consider all your USA assets? Yes, I can confirm. I can confirm that, TG. The only way to prove that you either have the monthly income or the lump sum deposit of that 800,000 baht. The only way you can do that is with a Thai bank account. That Thai bank book that I showed you, That's it. They don't want to see any documents from your home country. You're not going to be able to bring documents. You can't bring your social security statement or, no. The way to prove it now, because they're trying to eliminate fraud. A lot of these guys were meeting the income requirements with documents that were fraudulent or whatever. So, hey, it's their country, it's their rules. You cannot like it. I don't like it. But again, you have a respect and you're like, do I want to live here? Do I want to go through? It's not that difficult. So you open a Thai bank account, put the 800,000 baht in there, right? And then they want you to have that 800,000 baht in there 2 months before you apply for your first 1 year extension, and then thereafter have it in there for 3 months prior to when you turn in your application. So but yeah, I can definitely confirm the way you prove. And if you want monthly income, then you just do a direct deposit, or you can do wire transfers into that Thai bank account, because that ledger is going to show that money is coming from overseas. And then your bank can issue a letter, say these deposits every month of 65,000 baht are coming from overseas, right? So basically, they've eliminated the fraud. Now, there still are agencies that will help you process your visas in Thailand, and agencies still get by with a lot of stuff. So I'm not going to tell you that, there aren't ways around. The thing about Thai law is, after every law, 3.02A, whatever the code is, every law at the bottom, it says subject to ministerial regulations. Subject to ministerial regulations. Basically, what that means is there's a hell of a lot of discretion in the Thai law. So there's the law, and then there's somebody, okay, the ministry. Okay, well, the Ministry of Immigration, the IB, the Immigration Bureau is like a ministry. You're dealing with an immigration officer. That guy's got pretty broad discretion, right? So Ministry of Labor, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, all these ministries, underneath every law that says this is what you got to do, subject to ministerial regulations. So there's a lot of that in Thai law. It's kind of hard to pin it down. And then you got these immigration offices in every province in different regions of the kingdom. And it's one country, right? So you think it'd be like a federal law, whatever the immigration law is, that applies to the whole country. Doesn't work that way either. I mean, I've extended my visa in four different provinces now, and run into different things each time. Now have been changes, especially in the most recent year. There's been a lot of changes that you have to meet, but that's why I like doing it myself, so I can follow and stay up to it. But you can get in there and an immigration officer tell you, oh, you don't have such and such document, and you're like, well, I didn't have to have that last year. Don't argue with them. Just get clarification. Make sure it is what you need, what they're telling you, what exactly you need. Take their advice. Go get the document. Come back. Don't be confrontational with the Royal Thai Police. Royal Thai Police they're the ones that run the immigration offices. Okay, that's the imitation police. Immigration police is part of the Royal Thai Police. So you don't want to show your ass. You don't want to lose face. You don't want to be that guy, man. Don't be that guy. Don't be that disrespectful guy, man. I've seen it in immigration offices. Guys arguing with them, like, oh no, I have my paper right here. Look, this is my monthly income from America. Look, the fucking immigration officer going, where's your bank book? I mean, there's no reason to, no reason. It's not difficult, guys. It's not difficult. Thailand still welcomes foreigners. Don't believe the negative haters out there that Thailand is racist against white-skinned Farang. They don't want you here anymore. It's all bullshit, man. Don't listen to it. Just because there are some government officials that might make a derogatory statement against a Farang or something, that's not how the system works, man. I know a lot of expats here, okay? They never have any problem getting their visas and shit. They're happy here. They love it here. They travel home and work. They come back and stay here. Dude, don't believe all that shit, I tell you what, bringing up a Thailand vlogger, used to be a YouTube vlogger. I guess he's got his own TV now. Twitchy. The guy, I mean, I like the guy, but he puts out so much shit, man, so much negative shit. Like this great big stereotype, whether it's Thailand doesn't want you here. What does that even mean? Is there an entity that is like one single entity that Thailand doesn't want you here? Bullshit. Immigration officers have always been courteous and nice to me, and I've never had any fuck scammers or trying to get money under the table. Like maybe they've had some bad experiences, but maybe their bad experiences because they're the person in the mirror. I don't know, but I'm just saying each person is unique in their own way, and there's a lot of complexities. So all this stereotype shit. Twitch is also talks shit about Thai women. Oh, Thai women, they just want your money, rip you off. Well, maybe that's your experience, partner. What have you dated? Two or three women? I don't know. It's not what Thai uh, gets me mad, man. It's like narrow-minded in their thinking. Like you can just stereotype groups of people into oh, they're all that way. Ignorant shit. So there are some bloggers, man, that if you want to get the negative side of Thailand, man, it's out there too. Don't believe it, man. Don't believe it. Don't believe it. Okay. I may do a video where I just ride around and talk to all of my expat friends. Hey, you ever have any trouble getting your visa? No. Does Thailand make you feel unwelcome? No. I mean, I could do it. It's a bunch of bullshit. Okay. Don't listen to the negative trolls and haters. Sorry, Greg is loudmouth, and that's yeah. He lost his YouTube channel. He would get on there. I really had respect for the guy. He got mad skills on computer skills and technology. He had a good call-in program. Other vloggers could call in. I called in one time. I gave the guy kudos. I mean, and I still I'm judging the guy. Okay, I'm just okay. No religion, no politics. So this kind of falls in that same thing. Whatever. To each their own, right? But I'm just going to put out the counter perspective to any negative naysayers about Thai people, and Thailand doesn't want you here and all this bullshit. They keep making these regulations and requiring you to have health insurance. They're doing all this shit. Why? Because they don't want you here. You're not welcome in Thailand. BS, man. BS. It's all ridiculous. People are living beautiful, comfortable retirement lives and married lives and everything else from all over the world here. Been doing it for years and are still doing it. Nothing's changing, man. Thailand is a land of smiles. These people are amazing. You're not going to have a problem getting your immigration, your visa. If you want to bitch about the requirements and their laws, then don't come. Don't go there. I mean, Vietnam doesn't have a retirement visa at all. Is Vietnam racist and doesn't want you there? No, it's their law. It's what they decided to do, man. It's just nonsense. So because there's obstacles that you have to meet, and some of them are cumbersome, and it doesn't mean they don't want you, man. It just means that's the law that they've established, and all this crackdown, Thai immigration crackdown. Yeah, that shit's happening. You know what's happening too? The guy that pushed his Thai girlfriend off the balcony that we were talking about earlier. The guy trying to smuggle in drugs. The guy's traveling on fake passports, and now they got biotech, and you're not gonna get by with that. Biometrics. Okay, yeah, they're cracking down. Overstays. You want to overstay? You want to not pay any visa fees? And you want to live here on a overstay and all that shit? Your ass is going to get deported. Yeah, there's a crackdown. They're getting rid of the Drakes. Okay, if you're a if you're a normal person and you want to live in a foreign country, and I think I can speak for pretty much all Southeast Asia, you can do it, man. You can do it. If you don't want to go through the requirements, you don't want to go through a cumbersome application process to stay legal, then don't go. But to come here and these guys get on there and just all this negative shit and turn it into a bigoted thing that Thai people are racist against Farang and all this shit, man. It's just not true, man. Don't believe any of it. And I've got people that are subscribers, high quality people in America, and who knows who's going to see this video. But I'm telling you, man, don't believe any of that crap. Okay, that's why I like guys like Foreigner Joe, like Chuck and Paige. Because they're showing it's not difficult, man. It's not, and it's not all about you have to have big money. They only want rich foreigners. No, that's not it either. Okay. I mean, I'm married to a Thai. I'm required to have 40,000 baht a month, $1,200 a month. Like poverty level in the United States is what I'm required to provide. I mean, come on, reality is completely different than that stuff. And I do get fired up, man. Anytime this subject comes up, because I'm so passionate about truth and facts, and Look, I mean, there's negative things about any country that you might choose to live in. Living in a foreign country, there are things, right? And I'm not defending, I'm not saying, oh, I think it's a great idea that they require all of these 70-year-old guys to have health insurance that they can't even get. I'm not saying that I'm a fan of it, okay? It's not an opinion piece, right? It's a factual thing. Look, it's their country, it's their laws, meet their requirements or don't come. But if you want to know the truth, it's not about not wanting you here. I mean, Thailand has Thai Tourism Authority, spends millions of dollars promoting Thailand as a tourist destination all over the world. In 2018, Bangkok was the number one visited city in the world. In the world, Bangkok, right? Don't give me this crap that you're not welcome here because long stay expats have wonderful lives here, guys. And I think James Abroad, these other guys, so many good examples. Eli the bike guy in Vietnam tell you the same thing. Man, I don't know. I've always been an optimistic guy, but I'm not going to I'm not going to turn a blind eye to, yeah, it's difficult, and yeah, there's cumbersome requirements, and yeah, you have to stay legal. If you overstay your visa or something, and you expect Thailand to accommodate you and not deport your ass, and you want to be negative, oh, Thailand doesn't want you. Why? Come on, I overstayed my visa and didn't do anything about it, and got deported. So yeah, Thailand's horrible. No, I think I think maybe you should have followed the law. You know. Conform with cheerfulness. Conform with cheerfulness to the country of which you choose to live. Period, man. If you can't conform with cheerfulness, then why would you want to move outside your country, guys? Did you have a yellow book? No, I don't have a yellow book. Uh, I've been looking into that. I don't have the yellow book. I have a work permit. I have military ID. Uh, if you don't have a yellow book, you can go to the immigration office and I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's basically verification of your address, right? So after you've registered with your local immigration office, you go in and get this paper, and it costs you 600 baht, and it's put passport photos on it, right? And after they stamp it, they give you two copies of it, two originals, right? And after they stamp it, it's good for 60 days, I believe, that you can use. And what that allows you to do, open a bank account, buy a motorcycle in your name, right? So, like when I went to tag Blackie 2, my motorcycle, it was a one owner tie, and I never had a motorcycle in my name yet. I've always just bought stuff in my wife's name. I just took that paper with me to the transportation office up here to get. I wanted the green book, which is like the title, in my name. I wanted the tag in my name, and that's the paper I had to have. So I didn't have to have the yellow. If you have the yellow book, you don't have to go get that paper. So a yellow book uh, is called a Tambian Bond, which just means like a house book. Every Thai citizen has a house book, and theirs is blue. A foreigner can get the yellow one. So good question. And if you have information on the process of that yellow book, I'd be interested to know about that. I don't think it's that difficult. The Scotsman in Asia in the house, another great channel, guys. Great channel, great channel. Man, we got some quality people. Look, I may be a small channel, but I prefer quality over quantity any day of the week. And I got some quality people, man. Quality people. Have you still get? Oh, you haven't got the yellow book either. Okay. Well, if you don't want to jack with that, man, go to your immigration office and ask about that address verification form. Because I mean, it's only temporary. It's only like 60 days, and it costs you 600 baht. But you can use it basically for the same processes that you would use your yellow book. Verification of your address, verification that your long stay visa is in. I mean, that's what it is. So if you need to tag something, or any kind of Tesaban, AMPO, City Hall, office, it's verification. So it's a substitute for the yellow book. I haven't done the yellow book because I've extended my visa for 5 years now, and I'm now eligible for permanent resident status. So I'm going for the permanent resident status, and application, I think, for permanent resident opens in October, and they only give out 100 per nationality every year. So I'm in competition with Americans only when I turn in this application based on your contributions to the kingdom and stuff like that. They want to make sure you're one of the good guys. And but if you get that, you get a blue Tombian bond. So you're not a Thai citizen, but you're a permanent resident of Thailand. So you get the blue Tommy and bond. So hopefully I can skip past the yellow book thing. I think that's the ultimate goal for an expat. It's like Thailand's green card, permanent resident. You're not a citizen, right? But you can't get a Thai passport, but it's a far greater status than and you don't have to extend your visas and stuff every year. I mean, you're a permanent resident, so it's a whole different thing. I don't know all the details, but I promise I will. Uh, how is my Thai language skills? Not that great, and mainly it's because I'm lazy. Life that speaks good English. Her sister is fluent in English, uh, so I get lazy about it. I sat down for a while and got the pre-K books, writing all the letters, and you know, if you're going to learn a language, you need to start pre-K. Start like you're a 4-year old. Chuck is amazing. James Abroad, amazing. This guy that you're going to see the interview about the Rib House restaurant, fluent in Thai. But yeah, I've been lazy, man. And now I will say this: when I got here, I made damn sure I knew how to say please, thank you, hello, right? The basics. Made sure I knew all the numbers. Nung, song, sa, zun. Got to start with that zero. Zun, nung, song, sam, si, ha, hope, jet, bat, gal, sip, right? Sip, et, right? So I made sure I knew all the numbers. I made sure I knew how to ask how much. Like a lot of times you go to these markets. I was in the northern suburbs of Bangkok, a town called Nonthaburi. Nonthaburi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I always get it wrong. It's a northern suburb of Bangkok. And there we had walking distance, like street markets everywhere. And a lot of times there wasn't any price on anything. So I had to learn the numbers and how to say how much. Tau rai. And be polite. Tau rai, nakap, tau rai. And I would think like a dry towel. I would like try to do anything to help memorization, but I've got a little processor problem. I have a great memory, short term and long term, but the neurologist explained it like a processor in a computer. Throw too much information in my processor's not right. I used to love to read. Now I read a chapter and I'm exhausted. I mean, it's a weird thing. So uh, it's not an excuse though. I can learn a lot more Thai than what I know, but I can get by like without my wife, and I'm just out there solo. I can get by. Can I sit down and have a conversation? No. But as far as you know, turn left, turn right, where am I going? I can get by, but I'm jealous of the guys that have really put time in it. Well, that's what they say that you need to take a Thai lesson or Thai exam when you do the permanent resident status, right? I heard that too. But then I talked to some people in the know, and they're like, it's kind of it's kind of at the discretion of the immigration officer, so to speak. Uh, so I don't think it's and even the test that they do require, it's not like a fluency thing. They're not going to sit there and grill you about, everything and make sure you're fluent in Thai before you get a permanent resident, application approved. Just to get the application approved, it's 7,500 baht for the application fee, and there's no refund if you don't get it, right? So, but and talking to people, and I'll just have to see, like, I'm speaking out my ass right now because I don't know, I haven't done it yet, but when I do it, I'll bring you with me. I guarantee you, you'll find out. Chuck seems to pick up Thai very. Chuck, man, he's like my kid brother. He's a few years younger than me, and he's a sharp guy, and he's dedicated to it, man. But his circumstances, my circumstances, are a lot different. So are all of us, right? We all have unique experiences, how we got here, why we got here. Chuck, met Paige in Texas, I think, and they married in the States and stuff. And I think he came over and visited with the family. So I think Chuck had several years, kind of preparation, but he knew he was going to be coming to Thailand, and living in Thailand. So, and he self-disciplined guy, and sat down and really, learn how to write, and he can read some Thai too. And you can see in his vlogs, like he's got a board up there where he's always so, I could do that too, man. But It's laziness, man. It's laziness. I don't have any other excuse. I mean, I do have some disabilities, but where it's not easy for me to learn. And when you get older, you're so full of everything. My mind is so full of all this knowledge that you can't cram any more in it. But there's lots of excuses. But yeah, I admire the guys that got good skills. You don't need it though. You need the respect language. You need that. You need the greetings, the please, the thank you. You need the respect stuff. You can get by, and I'm helping to improve the English second language skills of the kingdom. Not that I could have a major impact. There's a lot of native English speakers over here teaching English. That would be interesting video, Thomas, for the residents. Yeah, it's going to happen, man. It's going to happen. If you watch Benjamin Hart with Integrity Law Firm, Thailand vloggers post his stuff, and not really a vlogger like a lot of us. He just he's an attorney and gives legal updates and statuses. Great guy to follow. Benjamin Hart, American attorney, Integrity Legal. Uh, you know, uh, I've never hired the guy. I hope I never have to, but he puts out synopsis, brief overlays of legal analysis of things. It's very helpful and it's free. Yeah, that's what you gotta love YouTube, free content. So I've seen some of his stuff on the PRS application process, and but obviously he doesn't give details. You want real good details. You got to hire the guy. I mean, he's in business to make money, right? So but I'll like everything else, man. I'll do my homework. I'll go in prepared, man. Doesn't mean I'm going to be, uh, you know, accepted, guaranteed to get it. But I'll definitely, I'll keep you posted on it. I know for a fact that you're not eligible to apply for permanent resident status until you've lived in the kingdom for 5 years on the same visa. So you could be here 10 years, and if you don't get the reentry permits and stuff like that, so that you keep your when you return to the kingdom, your old visa is still valid. If you don't do that, then you're losing time, right? I've always, when I've left the country, got my reentry permits, come back into the country, they stamp the reentry used. That makes the old visa, original visa going back to 2016, is still the one that I'm extending every year. So I've extended that same visa every year. And so to even qualify for applying 5 years on the same visa. At Gary Halliday. Oh, Eli's in the house. Are you kidding me? Hey, buddy. This guy's great, man. Anybody that hasn't seen Eli the Bike Guy channel, highly encourage you to. Thailand vloggers, can you throw him up there? Do you know Eli? I know you're a Thailand vlogger, so you may know. But anyway, I'm an amateur, Eli. I don't have any moderators or anything yet. So if we can't get Eli the Bike Guy link up there, he's a Vietnam expat and great perspective. And he's the bike guy, man. He rides the bike around. He's in the city of Da Nang. We would say Da Nang, but I think that Vietnamese say Da Nang. Uh, Rides around on a bike, got good skills, man, and really gives you a good perspective of things. Does a lot of good live streams. Uh, Great guy, great guy. And another one of those guys that I think represents the expat Southeast very well, because I mean you could tell his interactions with the Vietnamese people. Respect is number one, man. He's not one of these people, like we were talking about earlier, that are all negative. Why does Vietnam have all these restrictions, and why is it so difficult for me to live here? I mean, he sees it the other way around. Got a little good head on his shoulders, but entertaining stuff too, man. And I can't wait to come visit you, Eli. I'm glad you guys are chatting amongst yourself, man. Thanks, Eli, man. I'm a total amateur. We're up on an hour and 42 minutes here, and guess what? We haven't violated either one of my rules. How do you like that, Eli? Is that a good idea? Huh? Because it happens on your chat feed too, right? It happens, and you know we all have our opinions, both of these two major subjects. But if you avoid those, then you don't get that division. You don't get that divisiveness as much, because I like to talk about things that can unite people. I'm passionate about my opinions of expat life, and I can be kind of brutal about shit. So there's nothing wrong with divisive variance in opinions of what you do. You agree or disagree with the law requirements, whatever. In general, expat life, that's a good, healthy debate to have differences in debate on. These two, never healthy. Nothing good ever comes from it. So, yeah, man, if we can ink say on the oink say, as they say, and stay away from those two topics, because there's no reason to, man. If you want unity, I like unity. I like unity. I like unity, not just expats here in Thailand, but expats all of Southeast Asia. That's why I put that title in there because it's important, man. It's important. We're a small minority. Eli, you know that as well as anybody. We are a small minority. Okay, white skinned Westerners, immigrants to Southeast Asia. So, it's important for all of us to each their own. I mean, you can be the negative drama guy like Twitchy if you want to be. So I'm not. I would never ask someone to not watch that. Hey, man, if you're into that, watch it. Get all perspectives. But to me, it's important to have unity represented in my channel. It's not. It's the quality, man. It's the quality. I want a good audience. I want people to gain insights and benefits. And look at the people in here. I got 12 people, but this video is going to be viewed by more than 12 people, right? And hopefully the channel will get bigger and bigger. But all of these people that are in here are quality people. So when they go back and look at the chat feed from the live stream, the playback, they're going to get helpful stuff, man. It's going to be informative, and it's going to be a good spirit. You get into these two conversations, and turn people off, man. I don't want to do that. I don't do that at all. So anyway, man, thanks for stopping in, everybody. Uh, Eli, I just try to keep the drama to a minimum. Yeah, man, that's right. You're good at it, man. And sometimes I'll be chatting, with your other live chat people in there, and sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I break my own rules too, man. I mean, but yeah, to each their own. Packers and Cowboys. Ha ha! No, man. Broncos and Chiefs. Broncos and Chiefs. That's serious religion. Or Broncos and Raiders. I mean, Chiefs and Raiders. I'm a Kansas City guy, so we just happen to be what? What are we? The Kansas City Chiefs are what? I didn't hear you guys. What are we? Oh, Super Bowl champions. That's right. That's right. It only took us 50 years to get back to the Super Bowl, but got to eat the glory while you got it. Yeah, man. I'm a Raider hater and a Bronco hater. No, don't hate them, but yeah, it's great rivalries. Yeah, it's almost like a religion, though, man. You're right. You're right. You're right. All right. Bad Badger, thank you, man. TG, Scotsman, Eli, Thai vloggers, everybody, Gary, thank you guys for stopping by, man. I'm going to go ahead and cut this live feed and finish up this video. Please, when you have time, I'm fixing to upload a video to American restaurant owner, business owner perspective, was going to do his grand opening in March. Pandemic hit, emergency orders, got all this money invested in a beautiful American smoked meat, smoked ribs, a really rare thing here in Thailand. And I'm fixing to upload a great interview with him. And I think you'll find him really interesting. And it gives a perspective from a business owner, not only a business owner as an expat, he's got a lot of experience in as an expat in many different areas of Southeast Asia. So not only that perspective as a business owner, but then also the perspective of your grand opening is canceled by a global pandemic. Wow, who would ever thought, right? So I think you'll find it interesting, and if you do like that video, I might do more of that uh, tour interview style stuff with expat business owners, right? Not like I'm going to go to exclusively to that, but I think maybe it gives a better perspective because a lot of people think, you know, bar owners in Asia, oh, a bunch of sleazebags sitting around with a bunch of alcoholics. It's not that, man. There's a lot of good quality bar owners and stuff too, man. Like really good, sharp people that have been for a long time, have a good crowd. They throw New Year's parties. I mean, that's really well done stuff, and it brings the expat community together to have those expat owned businesses, right? So I think I'll probably, depending on the feedback I get on that, I might do some more of that. But stay tuned for that, guys. All right. Hey, peace, love to everyone. Teacher Thomas, Thailand. Thanks for your support, man. I really appreciate it. I think the channel's going to grow, but I'm not too concerned. Quality's better than quantity any day of the week, right? Okay, man. Peace and love. Thanks, guys. Thanks to everybody. I'm gonna end it right here. Uh well, thank you, man. Thank you, TG. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope people enjoy the playback too. And you know, I don't have any agendas, man. I don't have any goals other than to do this as a hobby, and at the same time get some reward, get some self reward, right? Some like you said, some purpose as an expat by helping people, by putting out stuff that might be relevant to somebody trying to make a decision about living in Southeast Asia. So I mean, you're doing a hobby, and then you get that self rewarding feeling, uh, that purpose of why do I have a YouTube channel? It's not just about showing videos to my kids anymore. It's like, oh, I could do something that's informative. I enjoy it and get different perspectives. So anyway, see you guys. Peace and love, man. Take it easy. TTT out.